right, on the show now is Lloyd McKinney, who just won the CFFC interim flyweight title at CFFC 110 when he beat Santo Curatolo in the very first round. Lloyd, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, man. That's got to be exciting. You got a nice shiny belt to add to your trophy case. How are you feeling right now?
I'm just grateful I'm healthy and not too banged up. I'm just happy to be where we're at.
No doubt. What's the significance for you at this stage of your career to win this belt? I mean, CFFC, that they're a premier organization here in the United States, so it's a big deal.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a big deal, and I'm just I'm grateful. I'm happy. I'm a little bit at a loss for words, to be honest, because it's been a long road, but I'm really smiling because of where we're at, and I think we're in a good spot going forward. So,
what was the game plan going in against Santo? What's the dangers of this fight preparing for it?
So I knew he was going to be super tough. He's well-rounded. You know, he's a little bit younger, but I knew he had power. I knew he was explosive. I knew that if you let him get in his rhythm and get his confidence up early, that it was going to be hard to kind of climb out of that hole if I got myself there. But my coaches and I wanted to utilize our reach advantage. We had that 9.5-inch reach advantage, but the big thing too is like he was able to close that gap. So it's like, well, what do I do to be able to fight if he's better inside? So, you know, I was working knees and elbows, but honestly, you know, we train knees, but I can't honestly say like, oh yeah, I was planning for that knee. It was really organic. It happened in transition, but we did prepare, you know, for some moments like that. So yeah.
Was this a fight where you anticipated it to go maybe the duration, or did you feel like you would be able to get him out of there early?
No, honestly, I was ready to play the long game. Like, full disclosure on the game plan was that the first round we were gonna utilize our distance and see how we could level the playing field and get him a little bit tired, because he does have power and that explosiveness. That kind of went out the window when he went for that takedown initially, which was, I was actually excited about it because I knew that we could kind of get the scrambles going earlier than anticipated. So I think that was something that I hadn't prepared for, but I got a break on that. But yeah, so wanted to play the long game, then kind of pick it up as the rounds went on. And I was thinking maybe if I was going to be able to submit him or get him tired enough that it would be like third or fourth round. But you know, sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, God's plan is better than my plan, clearly. So
yeah. You mentioned the game plan just a second ago, and I'm curious about, I guess, just you as a fighter, because you know some fighters, they like to stick to game plans, and other guys like to get in there and just flow and see what happens. What kind of a fighter are you?
Like, so I think at this stage of the game, we have like a basic game plan, right? Like, we wanted to play to the reach advantage. We wanted to get where we were more comfortable, and we felt like we had better conditioning. So those were the three keys that we knew that we wanted to take into consideration if we were to develop a game plan, right? But other than that, it's just being prepared, getting the rounds in, being comfortable out there, and just letting the fight play out the way it's going to. Train, you know, you train from underneath, you train from on top, you train up against the cage, you train from space. So yeah, I mean, I said it in a previous interview, but I've just fallen in love with the process again, you know, kind of where I was at earlier in my career, because I'm being coachable again. I'm learning from everybody that's teaching me, and that's the part that's most fun for me. And I'm just grateful to be getting the outcomes that I'm prepared for.
And obviously this fight card was on UFC Fight Pass, which is a big deal. I mean, you're getting all kinds of eyeballs across the whole world watching you. Do you feel that, like, when you know that this is on UFC Fight Pass and people are kicking back watching you at home, like, does that nervous energy, do you feel that walking into the cage?
I just feel the energy, and like, energy is energy at this point. Good energy, bad energy. I try to, you know, embrace the fact that it might not be all positive energy, but just to be honest of it. And then I've been in situations where the cameras were on before, where I kind of shelled up under the lights, but now it's just like, I think anybody, the more you can put yourself in those situations, you can like desensitize yourself to in your face and the lights being on you, and you could just be yourself. And that's really what scared me the most about the Santo fight, is that he was developed really well through that promotion, right? So he wasn't going to be shocked or taken back by the cameras being there or the lights being on, or he's been in that cage before. So that had me a little bit, like I thought about that, but at the same time, it's like the end of the day, it's a fight. It's me, the other guy, and the ref, and I'm just in there to do what I love to do. So
Now this card took place in Tampa, Florida. What was the venue like? Just your whole experience, of this fight weekend.
it was awesome. I can't thank CFFC enough, and just the people of Tampa. So they got us a hotel that, but my wife and her parents and my trainer and I, we got an Airbnb that was probably 3 or 4 miles from the hotel. So we were in like a really local neighborhood, and I just felt at home all week, right? So I wasn't stressing about other fighters at the hotel or running into my opponent, having that awkward, tense, sizing each other up. I got to do my road work, I got to run by a river, and I got, so I just really embraced being in Tampa. We got there Sunday and then started the weight cut, and then midway through, so it's probably like Tuesday, maybe I think it was Tuesday, we went to the Tampa Zoo, and it's just a way to get my mind off the fight, but like see some animals and some wildlife, and then burn some calories while doing it. And then the Hard Rock Seminole was an amazing venue. Everybody there, the CFFC staff, like I said, the Hard Rock staff is just really awesome and spectacular. And I was just, yeah. And then Friday after the fight, we traveled over to St. Pete's Beach, and that beach was absolutely beautiful. I'd like to go back there with my wife at a later date, maybe. But yeah, so it was just really cool all the way around.
Yeah, I was just at the St. Pete Beach last year, so it would have been like December time frame, so 7 months ago. If you go, you should check out John's Pass. Did you go there this last time?
No, so we were on the beach, but then we walked over to, it's like the Drunken Clam or something like that, and I got the ahi tuna and the seaweed salad. That was really good. So John's Pass, you said though?
Yeah, it's just like a little area where there's a bunch of shops and
Oh,
little bars, and it's
yeah.
on the water. It's a cool spot. I'm sure you and your wife will enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that for sure.
Sounds good. Now, home for you, that's Wisconsin, correct?
Yep. So right now, um, technically, yeah, we live in La Crosse, but we closed on our house in West Salem the Friday before we left to fly out. So that was a little bit stressful. So we closed on our house. We're moving 12 miles from La Crosse, where my wife's family's from and where she's from, West Salem, Wisconsin. And then we're turning our current house into an investment property. We're gonna make it a rental. But yeah, I just grew up around on either side of the Mississippi River, mostly in Wisconsin, but my mom lived over in Minnesota. So yeah.
Now, are you a sports fan, or are you just into MMA strictly?
I love all sports. I can get into just about anything. Like my wife, her family's into stock car racing, so like I wouldn't have considered it a sport until I actually got around it. But so like I used to, poke fun at her, like say she was at the track with her kissing cousins on the weekend. But so I like just about anything, like I'll check it out. So yeah, I love sports.
Well, tell me a little bit about your team, your training partners, coaches, the guys that you're around day to day.
So on a daily basis, usually like at least 3 or 4 days a week, I'm up at Ironworks Training Center, which is in Holman, Wisconsin. And that was founded in 2011. So Eric Anderson is one of the owners. Nick Johnson just actually purchased that from two of the other owners. It was Troy Pulowski and Nick Ammerman. Nick Ammerman was the best man in my wedding, and then he's one of my coaches as well. So I'm up there doing MMA, and then I'm an assistant coach at UW La Crosse. So I'm wrestling, out of season, I can't be as hands-on with the guys, but like I can go to like lacrosse area wrestlers, which is like a wrestling club around here. So I'll get some training in up there with some of the guys. Um, so I'm wrestling, training at Ironworks. My work, 360 Real Estate Solutions, we have a fitness wellness center that they built during COVID upstairs of our office. So I'll get my supplemental work in there. Like on lunch, I'll do like cardio or like a 30-minute like circuit lift, maybe some bag work because I have a punching bag up there. But so that's my primary training. And then my trainers are Danny Moe is my boxing and striking coach. John Froze, my jiu-jitsu coach. Um, Nick Ammerman's he was my head coach, but like he's still like there. He helps me, trains me. You know, if I have stuff where I'm just overthinking it, he'll kind of talk me off the ledge. But who else? Then we have some other coaches that are there, like that do like the jujitsu classes or youth classes or supplemental classes. But then Dave Malachek, I still consider him my wrestling coach. He was my coach in college, and he's the head coach at UW Lacrosse. But he's just somebody that's a mentor to me, and somebody I talk to him leading up to every fight, and then I'm coaching underneath him from like September through March every year. So
Wow. So you're a busy guy. You got a lot going on.
yep.
And so you're 16-8 now as a professional mixed martial artist. Where do you feel like your next steps are? I mean, do you want to unify the CFFC belt, or are you feeling like, you know, maybe you're getting close to taking a step up and get a contender series shot or Bellator? What are you thinking?
I'm willing to entertain just about anything at this point. I do have you know, the agreement with CFFC was, you know, I'm willing to unify that. But I'd be silly to turn away an opportunity for contender series or even like a fight that made sense in the UFC. I mean, if I was a little bit earlier in my career, I would be more than happy to, you know, play the long game and stay with CFFC. I'll fight as many fights as they want me to fight, though. Really, it just boils down to I got to talk to Jeremy and Jason and Ed, and you know, the whole team, Jacob, Lance, whoever at Iridium, and they're gonna have my best interest in mind. They're gonna look at the landscape of the division, and then I'm just gonna do my job and train and go out there and try to keep winning fights and winning them decisively, right? So I'd love to unify it against Fumi, but I'd also love to see my name on a pair of Venom fight shorts for the UFC. You know, that's been my goal since I found out what the UFC was and what MMA was. So it doesn't that's not the, you know, that's not God's will. That's not God's will, and I accept it. But I'm gonna keep striving for it and give everything I got so that I don't have any excuses when it's all said and done.
When you look at the flyweight division in the UFC right now, how do you feel you stack up? Do you believe you're as good as those guys that are in there right now?
Yeah, I really feel like I'm in the mix. Okay, so like maybe this is a better conversation to have with you know, Jeremy and Jason and everybody before talking, but I'll be transparent. So I might not be as high profile as some of the other guys in the Iridium roster. You look at Moreno, who's going to fight for the interim title, and then you got Perez, who's fought for a title. Then you have Ode Osborne, Brandon Royval. You know, those are guys that are in the top 10 that are Iridium guys. I got nothing but respect for those guys. Being honest with myself, am I there quite yet? Probably not, you know, but I feel like I could get in there, and if you give me a 3-fight contract, I can come up with a roadmap or a plan to. I'd love a rematch against Victor Altamirano, who I lost to in the LFA fight. He's in the UFC now. I'd love to run that one back right out of the gate if I could. And then, you know, just I'm willing to be a guy that's, you know, right there to see who I can match up well with, to where I can see how I stack up with the top guys, but also like if I could catapult myself into a position to be in the, you know, top 25, you know, I could really see myself there, and then see where it goes.
Are you a big flyweight? What does that cut for you to get to 125?
Well, like fight day, it's all diet and nutrition for me at this point. So I wrestled 125 4 years of college. I had to make it hydrated. Coach Malachek, my other coach, Coach Fulsang, they were really great, making sure that I was within 7 pounds every Monday. Now I probably walk around consistently between 138 to 145 pounds on a big day. But so I'm within, 10 to 15 consistently though.
Okay. So it would make sense for you just to stick out at 125 and not fight at 35.
I've fought at 35 and I just haven't had, in my mind, I'd like to believe I can compete there, but it just makes me appreciate the guys that do go around weight classes and have more success than I've had, because like, maybe it's psychological, but of 8 losses, half of them are at 35, and it's like Mitch White strangled me, Brandon Ball strangled me, Zach Wolf TKO'd me. That was way back in the day, but it's just like, I feel at my best at 125 pounds. I boxed at 135 in February, and I was just that. I told somebody else it was like a pair of wet sneakers on tumble dry in the dryer, and it was just not a pleasant experience. So.
All right. Well, things are going good for you now. Let me ask you this before I do let you go. If unifying the CFFC belt is what's next for you, how do you like that matchup? How do you see that fight playing out?
I honestly haven't watched a ton of film on him yet. I look on paper, I see, he beat Trujillo, and Trujillo beat Santo. He's got finishing capability. It looks like he looks like he's a well-rounded fighter on paper. He's got some submissions, he's got some knockouts, he's got some decisions. What else did I see? He does only have 5 pro fights, so I could, I feel like experience might play a factor, but he's hungry and he's an up and comer, and I think, he'll take that to his advantage. But regardless of what's on paper, I just think that if you give me a reasonable amount of time to prepare for anybody, I'm going to go out there and let it fly. And I think where my skills are at now and my, my growth potential, where I'm at in my career, I think I can go out there and either surprise people or beat the people that I'm supposed to beat. So.
Well, very, very impressive performance. Your last time out winning the CFFC interim belt. Pleasure interviewing you too for the first time, my man. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so thank you for doing this interview with me. You can find me on Facebook, Lloyd McKinney. I'm on Instagram at McKinney. I don't have Twitter, but I just really want to thank my team and my coaches and my sponsors. All of them know who they are, but really just want to thank the whole team at Iridium, because they really changed my life and my career, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I wouldn't get opportunities to interview with awesome people like you if it wasn't for them. So I just, I really want to give them that credit. And then, just CFFC for giving me that opportunity, and whatever the future holds with that promotion or wherever we go going forward, I'm excited. So thank you. Oh, and my wife. Sorry, don't let me forget that.
Of course, you saved the best for last.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I appreciate the time, Lloyd. Look forward to chatting with you again, maybe before your next one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.